You know how it is, right? You pour your absolute heart, your time, and honestly, a ton of your resources into creating content and building up an audience. But what actually happens when you cross a line? Maybe it's even a line you didn't know was there. For digital creators, the stakes literally could not be higher. One wrong move, one overlooked policy, and years of hard work could just be in total jeopardy. So today we're taking a really close look at exactly what happens when you break the rules on one of the world's largest video platforms, and more importantly, how you can stop it from happening in the first place. Welcome to This Explainer. I am so glad you're joining me, because today we are taking YouTube's community guidelines and turning them into your ultimate survival guide. As creators, we spend so much time obsessing over the algorithm, the thumbnails, those audience retention metrics, right? But none of that matters, literally none of it, if your digital assets aren't protected. Our primary focus today is pure prevention. We're going to map out exactly how YouTube's enforcement system works so you can proactively safeguard your channel, know exactly what your options are when things do go wrong, and guarantee you never ever lose access to your community. Okay, let's just map out our route for today. First, the enforcement system explained. Second, first violation, the warning. Third, policy training and prevention. Fourth, the strike escalation path. And finally, avoiding channel termination. All right, diving right into section 1, the enforcement system explained. Let's start with a nice high-level view of how this platform actually polices its content. Because, good news, YouTube doesn't just randomly delete channels for one minor slip-up. Instead, they rely on this very strict 3-level enforcement system. And the entire foundation of this system rests on understanding the difference between two totally different things, a warning and a strike. Think of a warning as the initial learning stage. It applies to your very first violation, and it's built to educate you, not penalize you. On the flip side, a strike is the punishment stage. This is where the platform escalates things because the rules are just continuously being broken. Knowing this difference should offer some immediate relief if you've accidentally tripped a wire, but it also means you need a massive mindset shift. The goal is to stay squarely in that learning stage and actively prevent yourself from ever crossing over into the punishment stage. Moving right along to section 2, first violation, the warning. Let's look closely at what actually happens with that very first rule break. Say you wake up one morning, you check your phone, and there's an email saying your content violated a guideline. First thing, take a deep breath. Because of the way the system is designed, your first violation just results in a warning. It is not a strike. That is a very deliberate design choice by the platform. It's essentially a wake-up call, a friendly alert meant to point out a blind spot you might have in the rules. It's not some immediate punishment that's going to stop you from creating. Now, what's really interesting here is that the system doesn't just toss a warning at you and leave you to figure it out alone. It actually hands you 3 very distinct, actionable choices for handling this first violation. Step 1 is to take a policy training course. Step 2 is to appeal the warning. And step 3 is to simply do nothing. How you respond right here, at this exact fork in the road, is going to dictate the future safety of your entire channel. Let's briefly talk about that second option, appealing. You use this mechanism when you genuinely believe the system just made a mistake, which happens, right? Now, if you launch a successful appeal, that warning is completely removed from your record. It's literally like it never even happened. But if your appeal gets rejected, that warning stays right where it is. So, appealing is a bit of a gamble, and it really only pays off if you are absolutely certain your content was 100% within the guidelines. And then, well, there's option 3, do nothing. Guys, this is without a doubt the most dangerous path you can take. It's like ignoring a weird grinding noise in your car engine. Ignoring it doesn't fix it, it just makes the eventual breakdown so much worse. If you just ignore the alert stays permanently on your channel. Because you didn't take any corrective action, you're leaving your channel incredibly vulnerable. You're operating with this permanent black mark, meaning any future slip-up is going to instantly trigger a much harsher penalty. Let's get into section 3, policy training and prevention. Okay, this brings us to the absolute most empowering part of this whole explainer, how you can actively use the system to protect yourself. This is where option 1, completing a short policy training course, becomes your literal golden ticket. The benefits of doing this training are massive for the long-term safety of your channel. First off, it actively keeps your channel in a much safer status. By just sitting down and completing a short educational module about the specific rule you broke, you're showing the platform, hey, I'm willing to learn. Second, it gives you incredible flexibility. Say you accidentally violate a completely different policy a few months down the line, the system actually allows you to take a new, separate training course for that new issue. It's designed to encourage learning and prevent future mistakes, rather than just immediately locking you out. So the absolutely crucial detail here is this number, 90. If you complete that policy training, your warning completely expires after 90 days. Boom, your record is wiped totally clean. The only catch, and it's a fair one, is that you cannot have a repeat violation of that exact same policy within that 90-day window. This right here is the ultimate preventative tool. You are basically given a 90-day probationary period to prove you've learned the rules, and in exchange, your channel's pristine reputation is completely restored. All right, moving into a slightly heavier topic. Section 4, the strike escalation path. So what happens if the whole learning stage fails? Well, if the violations keep happening despite that initial warning, you enter the strike system. Let's walk through this penalty table because it escalates fast. Strike 1 hits you with a 1-week suspension. And during that week, you suffer a severe loss of features. Absolutely no uploading, no live streaming, no editing. That strike then hangs over your channel for 90 days. Now, if you break another rule before that expires, you get hit with strike 2. This doubles the pain, a 2-week suspension with a full posting restriction, which completely paralyzes your channel's momentum. And to make matters worse, this second strike resets the clock. It takes another 90 days from the issue date to expire. Which brings us to the absolute danger zone, strike 3. If you accumulate 3 strikes within any 90-day window, your channel is permanently deleted. Not paused, not suspended for a month, deleted. All your videos, all your subscribers, every single ounce of your hard work, just gone forever. Seeing this escalating pressure cooker really drives home exactly why prevention at that warning stage is absolutely critical. And that leads us to our final section, Section 5, avoiding channel termination. Let's wrap things up by really consolidating this survival strategy. There is a direct quote from the platform's own guidelines that just perfectly nails the entire philosophy behind their enforcement system. Warning equals learning stage. Strikes equal punishment stage. You see, the system is purposefully designed to give creators the benefit of the doubt that very first time. It genuinely wants you to learn. But make no mistake, it is entirely uncompromising if you refuse to adapt and push your way into that punishment phase. Ultimately, while that warning system offers a truly fantastic safety net, your true strategy for channel survival should be 100% proactive prevention. Please don't wait for a warning to learn what's allowed. Read the policies, really understand the boundaries of the platform, and build your content strategy safely around those rules. Because at the end of the day, the single best way to survive a strike system is to just never enter it at all. We've seen exactly how quickly a simple, honest mistake can escalate from a helpful little training module all the way to the permanent deletion of your channel. But the tools for prevention are built right into the platform, literally just waiting for you to use them. So the question I want to leave you with today is this. If that fateful email ever arrives in your inbox, will you use the warning phase to learn, adapt, and fiercely protect your channel's future? Or will you risk everything by doing nothing? The choice is entirely yours. Keep creating, keep learning, and hey, stay safe out there.